Hey, what's up, everybody? You are watching On the Town, and I'm your host, Tanya. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. I appreciate you. So much is going on. Our prayers stand with Ukraine and its citizens and all those who are stuck there. Um, Tonight, I got quite a few topics to talk to you about, but that's the first one up online is, what is going on with Putin. How do we allow one man to just, take over a place and decide that he's going to destroy a place because he says something is sinister? And then how do we discern, as citizens or regular human beings, how do we discern who's telling the truth and who's not? That's the hard part. But here's the part that no one needs to decipher. That you just can't allow human beings to just decide to destroy other human beings' homes after all their hard work, paying taxes, you know, um, doing the best they can for their land or their country, whatever. I just think that I don't know why the United Nations or whoever's in charge. I don't know at this point. Somebody's in charge, but I can't figure out who. Why they've never established something where it's just absolutely not allowed. You can't just go bully people. But then, I mean, I know we can't talk. You don't want me to tell that part. We can't really talk. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But as far as Putin, I just think it's strange that someone can just say, you know what? I don't know. New York is such and such, and I decide I want to do such and such with it. And then I can just do it because I have the most guns or the most military power. I can actually do it. That is crazy to me. That has never sat right with me from the beginning of time, not just because I'm a Quaker, just because I'm a human being. And a human being does not try to put harm upon another human being. Usually, that's not usually what happens, unless they're, being attacked and then have to defend themselves. But to think, I saw, so many young men leaving their families, and saying goodbye. One was really sad. Little girl was saying goodbye to her dad. I mean, could you imagine? And don't sleep for 1 minute, America, and think that you are subject to not have this happen, where they can wake up one day and say, we're about to go to war. And guess what? You have to stay and fight. It can happen. I mean, legally, I think it can happen because there's some little rule, there's always a loophole somewhere that says that they can have people fight, our citizens fight. Why? I don't know, but I'm a Quaker, so I'm exempt. If you're a Quaker, you're exempt from fighting in a war. Thank God, because I'm not fighting for nobody, quite frankly. And that's just because, as an African American in our history, our history, I'm not fighting for anybody. I have done community service, and I do lots of community service. And I've actually done like a Job Corps type thing. So that I'll do. But actually physically fighting, not going to ever happen. Because I don't want to be put in a predicament where I have to kill another human being based on what another human being said. Never sat right with me, ever. And maybe, I'm not trying to be righteous or nothing, but just doesn't sound right to me that, my friend Tommy would go up to me and say, hey, we got to kill Billy. And I'm like, why? And he'll be like, because he hit me or something like that. And then I'm going to be like, oh, he hit you? All right, well, we're going to get him. That just doesn't add up to me. And it just seems like all the people in power seem like big super babies that need a bottle and a diaper more than they need anything. I mean, Putin's ego is like way, way too big. Now he claims that, the Ukrainians are like Hitler. And I'm like, last I checked, you want to check that again? So I don't know, but I don't live in Ukraine, so I don't know. I just know that no baby or no child should be stuck in a subway, not sure if they're going to be bombed in 5 minutes. That's what I do know. That's, as a mother, that's what I know. And to me, it should be our right on earth, a God-given right, not man, because man made all this up anyway, as you know. And he's the reason why we pay tax. He's the reason why we do all this stressful stuff. I liked it better when, we were in a darn, hut and just going to get our food and fend for ourselves. That I like that better, quite frankly. All this other stuff is just nonsense. But you see where we've gotten to. That it's gotten to the point of, before it was cowboys and well, I want to say cowboys and it's offensive allegedly, even though I'm Native American too, so don't tell me about it. But Before it was like, this is my land and this part, even though that was never the truth, but we're not going to go there. This is my turf and that's my place and that's it. And then you'd be like, all right, you stay over there, I stay over here. But now it's like, I got a bigger gun than you, so I can go and take whatever I want from you because I got a bigger gun. That just doesn't sit right with me and never has. And I just think it's so wrong on so many levels. I have some neighbors that are awesome. They packed up their stuff last night. One of my neighbors, they live here. They're American. The wife is double citizen, whatever, and her mom lives in Poland. So they decided, they were so distraught like me, except they did more than me. They packed up whatever they had and went to Poland last night and said, we're going to go. I said, what are you going to do? They said, whatever they need us to do. If they need us to fight, we'll fight. If they need us to take kids across the border and families, we'll do that. If they need us to drive, but whatever we got to do, that's what we're going to do. So I felt bad because I was like, how do you know they're going to even let you anywhere near the border? So it kind of sucks. It feels really helpless when you see wars like that going on and you can't do nothing, but you have so much at your disposal, we could gather so many people here to get stuff that would be needed, clothes, furniture, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But we can't help because there's nothing, we can't bring nothing in, can't get anywhere, Speaking of which, I thought it was crazy that even the African students that are stuck there, they're really stuck. Nigeria has told them, you're on your own, figure out how to get back on your own. And it's like, how do you do that to your college students? At least the other embassies said beforehand when they heard Putin talking crazy, if I were you, I'd get out. That makes sense to me. But for a government to say, you're kind of on your own, got to figure it out, is crazy. And so you see, I don't know if you can see this picture. Let me see if I can share it. Of course, we're working on our technological skills. Okay. I'm going to share this screen and let me see if I share screen. I'm going to see if I can show you this. Let's see how clever I can be here. We'll see. Okay. Nigerian students. All right. So the Nigerian students you see there are stranded. They were literally stranded. The government's like, yeah, figure it out. You just figure out how to get back home. And it's like, first of all, they're students, Second of all, Ukraine, in the government should be ashamed of himself because he said that he was not allowing any of the black students, well, not black, excuse me, any of the African students, okay, to leave at all, because Ukrainian had to go first, which makes sense in a way. But to me, if you have students in your schools, that is creating income for your place. So if it's creating income, I would think you would have a courtesy to be. That's like me having a guest in my house and somebody comes in and I throw the visitor to the robber and say, here, there's my visitor. Go after her. Don't go after me. It's like, what happened to house guests? I don't know. Anyway, I think it's really rude. And only because other people got to get out. So if it wasn't just Africans, no problem. But if it's Africans that they're letting them, I've been watching some of the conversation. Go look at some of the conversations at the train station with the soldiers. They're like, you cannot leave if you're African. You're gonna leave. And it's like, what? What are we getting racist in a time where Africans and I saw some Africans out there fighting for Ukraine, saying we were trying to help and da 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 da. Are we really pulling the racism card right now? I think this is not a good time if that's the case. I don't know. I'm going to find out when my friend gets really on ground and tell me what's really happening, because that's really the only way you know. Everything else on the news, I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything I see because I don't know if it's real. I don't know. It's crazy that 150,000 strong forces have gone into Ukraine, killing more than 200 civilians, including 3 children. How do you kill 3 children? Who does that? It just doesn't make sense. 1,000 injured, including 33 children injured. And that's according to Ukraine's health ministry. 100,000 people misplaced. So here we go again. So what we're going to do and shift them around to other places again. To me, it would have made more sense if we just wouldn't have had a war, like we just took Putin out, like just you got Bin Laden, you got Saddam, and you got other people that didn't even deserve to get got. And here's the guy who's telling you, yeah, I'm just going to go in there and take over and I'm going to do what I want to do. And no one's done nothing. They put these stupid sanctions on him that are a joke, okay? A joke. You know what I'm saying? If you was going to hit him in the pockets, you should have hit him the first day, because then maybe he would have heard the message. But if he's got access to money, not a problem. And I know it's all about oil. It's always about oil and what can you do for us? It's always comes down to that. And it's just sad. It's so sad. I feel bad for these students that are just so stuck there. There's, no trains, supermarkets is closed. You can't even get any money. It's like there are about 100 Nigerian students that are, sheltering in place, I guess they call it, which is crazy. And that's another thing. I saw one girl on a TikTok who was like, "Yeah, I see the bombs outside," and something she said, I don't know. And I was saying to myself, why would you be in there? She seemed like she had access to get out, but she just thought, oh, well, it's not a big deal yet. And I'm like, if Putin would have talked, soon as Putin talked, I would have been listening. That's just my personal opinion. Had I had a choice, I would have been out. I'd be like, deuces. And I understand some people don't want to abandon their country. So I get that. I totally get that part. Not wanting to abandon your country. But sorry, I would have to abandon you because as soon as like right now in America, if they say, Putin's coming in 5 days, I'm out. You don't got to tell me twice. I'm out. And wherever I go, I'll be like, yeah, if he doesn't come, I'll go back. But right now I'm out. Now I understand there are people who don't have money like that, who don't have access like that, don't have someone to drop them a ticket or whatever. I get that. That's when you're like, ugh. And that's probably most of the people that are stuck there. They didn't have any option, which I understand. So my prayers are with them, so much with the children, because it just, what do you tell a child in the middle of that? What do you say? I saw people with their dogs. It's just horrible. I don't even know what to make of it. It's so deep that I can't even make of it, can't even make of it. So I don't know who's out there. I can't really see you guys. Maybe because I didn't put it up. But yeah, so much for that. I will say, we'll keep Ukraine in our prayers, and I will hopefully have someone that gives me a first account story. Hopefully they'll make it back to tell me what really happened, and I'll talk more about it when they get back, if God willing, that they make it back safe. And for anybody out there that can help, that's nearby, please help, because I always think like it could be me. I don't think in terms of I don't care about color. I don't care about all that stuff, because if you're next to me and you need help, I'm helping you, period. Even people that have been jerks, unfortunately, my instinct is always to help. Why? I don't know, but that's called the human thing. And I wish we all had the human factor. If anybody's doing something for Ukraine, physically bringing stuff there, let us know. We'll see what we can do in the community to help. That's all we can do for now. So for now, I'm going to go to a video break in 1 second. Let's see if I can do this correct. All right. I'm going to go to a video break, and let's see what we got here. Share. It's one of our local owned. Did I put the video up? I didn't. Here we go. It's one of our local owned. Let's see. It's here we go. It's Pete Belasco. We're gonna check him out. Check out this video, and here we go.
Lay down, feet up, make 'em scream, and jump back, holler, and make it seem like you're playing Coltrane. You're so hot, you're so on fire, but you can't stop. Well, I do it, 'cause that ain't me. I do it, 'cause that ain't me. Whew. You look good and you sound right. I like you, but somebody should give could help a lot. Would you cry on camera? Now hold it, freeze. Fool 'em, school 'em, get on your knees. Well, I ain't doing it, 'cause that ain't me. 'Cause I ain't doing it, 'cause that ain't me. I ain't doing it, 'cause that ain't me. I do what I do, I do what I feel. I say what I say, I try to keep it real. What I can tell you, that I won't hold back nothing. I tell it like it is, sending you my love. Come on, I do what I do, I do what I feel. And I say what I say, and try and keep it real. What I can tell you, that I won't hold back nothing. I tell it like it is, sending you my love. I ain't doing it, 'cause that ain't me. I ain't doing it, 'cause that ain't me.
I'm back. Thank you very much. That was Pete Belasco. And that's Ain't Doing It. That's what it's called. And the director is Derek Aspenberg. Great artist. Reminds me of Maxwell. Oh my God, that voice, right? Definitely that voice. Yeah, he's one of our local own. What's up, Pete? Hope you don't mind me playing your video. I'm not making any money. Don't worry, it's okay. But it's all good. So that's one of our new artists. I love him. And so my next topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about was skin lightening. Oh my God, guys. Let me see if I can even pull this up somewhere here. So many artists. I don't know if you saw the flyer, but I'll give you this. Oh, sorry. I'll give you this. So, okay, you can see this going on, right? So many artists are I would call it skin whitening. If you check out the flyer for today's show, you'll see all the Little Kim, you got Jada Pinkett Smith, you got Beyonce, everybody who, if you look at their original picture and look at them now, they're like 50 shades lighter, like almost white. Even Rihanna, love you, Riri, but come on, let's keep it real. And she is light. So I'm like, what are you trying to get even lighter for? What's up? So I understand it's usually the photographers doing it, when they do editing. Because I have pictures, if you can see some of my pictures on some of my model pictures where I'm like, wait a minute, she ain't that shade. Where I know it's not my fault. That's how they edit it. They brighten it or whatever they do with the Sephora, whatever different, different technological fancies they can do. So that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people that are literally bleaching their skin. Okay. And why am I talking about it? Let's just call this gossip that heals. We'll call it that. Because I don't really, in the scheme of things, I don't really care what anybody does, but I would care what you, my viewers, do. And I want you to know that when you see people like Little Kim, who's disfigured their whole original face, and it's no disrespect, it's just a fact that, even Michael Jackson, what he did from his face to what you saw in the end is like, who are you? Like, where'd you go? I don't even know where you go. Who else has done that? Oh, there's so many artists, and some are like on the verge of, if you do it one more time, you ain't gonna make it. And so like Vivica Fox, like she looked great. She was beautiful, beautiful. All the Hollywood legends, like right now, everybody in Hollywood is Botoxing. And why? Because some male, and sorry, white males, but probably some white executive male said, well, you got to look young. You've got to look young. The women got to look young. Why is it the women always have to hack up themselves? Now, don't get it wrong. You got the baseball player, Sosa, who decided he wanted to go from my complexion to like Mariah Carey's complexion. And now he looks like Herman Monster, but we won't go there. He looks horrible. And what's so sad about it, it's not even the action. It's the fact that you're literally letting people know how much you hate yourself. Like literally hate yourself. Like you must really be disgusted with yourself to do those type of surgeries continuous. Like it's like, have you got an accident like Iman did? She got in an accident and her face had to be reconstructed. Boom, I got you. Makes perfect sense. Totally got it. No problem. But everybody else, they were not no accidents. K Michelle and a lot of people, and they have this thing where like, well, we want cheekbones. It's all the same look. They want to look like, well, Kardashian wants to look like somebody else too, but Kardashian wants to look like a black girl. But that's another story because she gets the full lips, you know what I'm saying? She gets the nose, and then she's got the eye. I mean, it's just disgusting. If you saw them before surgery, the Kardashians, they were gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. They needed not one thing done to them. Now they all look like somebody else. And it's like, what is the point? And then, by the way, we're going to see what you really look like by your children. I'm just saying that tells it all. Your children will tell you, be walking like, oh, I love your nose. It's not really mine. Look at my babies. I mean, so I don't know. I never fancied surgeries, never, not even Botox, nothing. That's just because I feel like when it's time, it's time. It goes, it goes. It is what it is. And men don't spend as much time doing this as we do. They are in Hollywood. I won't say all, but they are in Hollywood. But it's to me, it's more about, dysmorphing your face and your body for some vanity reason. Like, why? Like, you got what, 2 or 3 years of this, and then what? Like, look at Madonna. Like right now, her face, she's a mess. I'm just saying. I mean, you got all that money in your mess. And what are you saying to your kids is what I really want to know. I'd like to know. I'd love to do a show where we take all the people who do all this stuff and take their kids and hear what. So what do you think, mommy? Isn't mommy pretty? And they're like, well, she's pretty. Yeah, she's pretty. Because I think it's insulting to when someone tell me, oh, Naomi looks really great, or so-and-so looks really great. I'm like, great before or after the surgery? Because, anybody can look great with surgery, right? Anybody can look great with surgery, right? Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. If you get surgery, yes, you probably will look, for the moment, better, right? So that's not the criteria in which you should be judged against. So I don't even listen to people that say, oh, so-and-so looks really good. I'm like, that's so fake. No, you can't compare someone who's had freaking Botox. Like Cindy Crawford looks like she did when she was 25 with Botox. Let's see Cindy Crawford without any Botox. Now you're talking. You're going to have, same as me, crow's feet. You know what I'm saying? My skin, thank you God for my mama, but that's another story. But you're gonna have pretty much, yeah, I have a little wrinkles. I got this, my neck doesn't look the same. I don't think, something's not gonna happen, and that's okay. Who cares? Nobody cares, because as you can see, when we was locked down, nobody gave a damn. Nobody gave a damn. Nobody gave a damn, because you're in your house. Ain't nobody could do nothing for you, right? If I had COVID and I was in ICU, nobody could do nothing for me. That's what it's about. It's about creating relationships and real people, not fake stuff. And because if you lighten your skin and all that stuff, that's great for the moment, but what else is that going to accomplish is what I want to know. And that's all I'm saying to you. It's not to disrespect those people that did it or do it, because I understand, like, Little Kim allegedly was beat up by her ex, but I was like, I would have beat him up before I beat my face up. That's just me. But so I don't know. I don't understand it. Everybody's doing it. Jada. I mean, I can't think of one Hollywood celebrity who has not Botoxed yet. How about that? And name one. If you know some, please let me know because I can't find any, and it's disgusting at this point. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. Look at even in Japan, it's a thing. In China, it's a thing. In Africa, oh my God, it's a big thing. You got girls, go look on them Instagrams, look at some of the African sisters, and they literally bleach their skin and look like a whole nother human being. They got these long weaves, and I was like, really? Reach all the way to the motherland? Like, really? What hope do we have if you still, everybody wants to do the Western way? I'm like, it's not that cute, because if it was that cute, the Kardashians would have stayed like they were, right? And Bo Derek would still be a 10, right? But even she can't be a 10. Because they all Botoxing. So if it's not even legitimate beauty, if you're Botoxing, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. And that's not to say you Botox girls out there that love your Botox, do you? I just don't want botulism in my face. I don't want fake chemicals in my face. I even try to get my makeup organic if I can, so that's just me, because I realize all that stuff is putting toxins in your body. That's really kind of what you're saying. So you might be eating clean. So I love when people say, I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan. Oh, that's another thing that pisses me off. They're like, I'm vegan, and then they got fake breasts. I'm like, what was the point of that? Or they're like, I'm vegan, got fake breasts and smoke cigarettes. Huh? Where is that coming from? What's another one? The best one is I'm vegan, and everything they eat is soy. So I'm like, that's great. So you're vegan and your food looks good, but you're basically going to have an estrogen dominance body, which means basically you're still going to be sick. You're still going to have problems later on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Everybody contradicts themselves, but that's okay. I just wanted you to have a little knowledge about that, all these people out have Botox and it looks cute, girls. My young girls out there, please don't follow them, people. Please don't do it. Don't follow them. Please don't do it, because in the long run, you're going to see all those women getting Botox and getting surgeries and getting fake butt implants and breast implants. If you had cancer, yes, no problem. Do what you want to do. You deserve it. Okay. You deserve to do whatever makes you feel good. That's fine. But if you're just out here for vanity reasons, talking about, I'm going to be a stripper, so I'm going to get fake breasts. Ugh. Like, is there any other profession that you could think of, like, besides selling your body and making it hard for women to have to go into that mentality again? Because everybody will be thinking that we're all tricks. I don't know. I have a problem with it, but it's okay. In the height of the world today, there's so much more going on, and we're going to focus on the fact that, there's a few of us still left that are sane. In the meantime, I'm going to play a sketch for you. Okay. I don't know. I know I see you out there, but I can't see you out there. So it's kind of weird. You guys know. Let me see. I'm going to get, don't forget to like it, subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. Okay. Try to like and subscribe if you can. I'm going to do this. Actually, I'm going to play a video, and then I'll come back. I'm going to do Sketch City, and then I'll come back and do a song, and then I'll talk to you for a minute and before I go out. All right. Hold on. Hang out for a second there. Here, I'm going to do Sketch first. All right, let's see. Here we go.
Maximize brand loyalty and enhance intangible assets. In pursuit of these objectives, we've started a new project for which we require 7 red lines. I understand your company can help us in this matter.
Of course. Walter here will be the project manager. Walter, we can do this, can't we?
Yes, of course. Anderson here is our expert in all matters related to the drawing of red lines. We've brought him along today to share his professional opinion.
Nice to meet you. Well, you all know me. This is Justine, our company's design specialist. Hello. We need you to draw 7 red lines, all of them strictly perpendicular, some with green ink and some with transparent. Can you do that?
No, I'm afraid.
Let's not rush into any hasty answers, Anderson. The task has been set and needs to be carried out. At the end of the day, you are an expert.
The term red line implies the color of the line to be red. To draw a red line with green ink is, well, if it's not exactly impossible, it's pretty close to being impossible.
What does that even mean? Impossible.
I mean, it is possible. There are some people, say, suffering from color blindness, for whom the color of the lines doesn't really make a difference. but I'm quite sure that the target audience of your project doesn't consist solely of such people.
So in principle, this is possible.
I'll simplify. A line as such can be drawn with absolutely any ink, but if you want to get a red line, you need to use red ink.
What if we draw them with blue ink?
It still won't work. If you use blue ink, you'll get blue lines. And what exactly did you mean when you talked about the transparent ink?
How to better explain? I'm sure you know what transparent means
Yes, I do.
and what a red line means. I hope I don't need to explain to you.
Of course not.
Well, you need to draw a red line with transparent ink.
Could you describe what you imagine the end result would look like?
Oh, come on, Anderson. What have we got here? Kindergarten.
No, I'm just trying to
No,
get
no,
a-
Let's not waste our time with these unproductive quarrels. The task has been set, the task is plain and clear. Now, if you have any specific questions, then go ahead.
You're the expert here.
All right, let's leave aside the color for the moment. You had something there also relating to perpendicularity.
7 lines, all strictly perpendicular.
To what?
To everything amongst themselves. I assumed you know what perpendicular lines are like.
Of course he does. He's an expert.
2 lines can be perpendicular. All 7 can't be simultaneously perpendicular to each other. I'll show you. This is a line, right?
Yes.
And another, is it perpendicular to the first line?
Well,
Yes, it is perpendicular.
exactly.
Wait, I'm not done. And a third one, is it perpendicular to the first line? Yes, it is. But it doesn't cross the second line. They're both parallel, not perpendicular.
Oh, suppose so.
There it is. 2 lines can be perpendicular.
Can I have the
Very simple.
pen? How about this?
This is a triangle. It's definitely not perpendicular lines. And there are 3, not 7.
Why are they blue?
Indeed, I wanted to ask that myself.
I have a blue pen with me. This was just a demonstration.
That's the problem. Your lines are blue. Draw them with red ink.
It won't solve the problem.
Well, how do you know before you've tried? Let's draw them with red ink, then let's see.
I don't have a red pen with me, but I'm completely certain that with red ink, the result will still be the same.
Didn't you tell us earlier that you could only draw red lines with red ink? In fact, yes, I've written that down here. And now you want to draw them with blue ink. Do you want us to call these red lines?
I think I understand. You're not talking about the color now, right? You're talking about that what do you call it?
Perpendicularity, yes!
That's it. Now you've confused everyone. So what exactly is stopping us from doing this?
Geometry.
Just ignore it.
We have a task, 7 red lines. It's not 20, it's just 7. Anderson, I understand you're a specialist of a narrow field. You don't see the overall picture. But surely it's not a difficult task to draw some 7 lines.
Exactly. Suggest a solution that any fool can criticize. No offense. But you're an expert. You should know better.
Okay. Let me draw you 2 perfectly perpendicular red lines, and I will draw the rest with transparent ink. They'll be invisible, but I'll draw them.
Would this suit us? Yes, this will suit us. Yes, but at least a couple with green ink. Oh, and I have another question, if I may. Can you draw one of the lines in the form of a kitten?
What?
In the form of a kitten? Market research tells us our users like cute animals. It would be really great if we could.
No.
But why?
Look, I can of course draw you a cat. I'm no artist, but I can give it a try, but it won't be a line anymore. It'll be a cat. A line and a cat. These are 2 different things.
A kitten, not a cat, but a kitten. They're little, cute, cuddly. Cats, on the other hand,
It won't make a difference.
Anderson, at least hear her out. She hasn't even finished speaking and you're already saying no.
I got the idea, but it's impossible to draw a line in the form of a cat.
What about a bird?
So, where do we stop? What are we doing?
7 red lines, 2 with red ink, 2 with green ink, and the rest with transparent. Did I understand correctly?
Yes.
Excellent. In which case, that's everything, right?
Oh, I almost forgot. We also have a red balloon. Do you know if you could inflate it?
What do I have to do with balloons?
It's red.
Anderson, can you or can you not do this? A simple question.
As such, I can, of course, but...
Excellent. Organize a business trip. We'll cover the expenses, go over to their location, inflate the balloon. Well, this is very productive. Thank you all.
Can I ask you one more question, please? When you inflate the balloon, could you do it in the form of a kitten?
Of course I can. I can do anything. I can do absolutely anything. I'm an expert.
So we're back. You're watching On the Town. I'm your host, Tanya, and that was the expert sketch. I have another thing for you here. I love this singer. He's a Subway singer. I love this guy. So check him out. Let's see if I can find him. Hollywood Anderson, my best friend. Great guy, great singer.
There she goes, she's the one for me. We got the kind of love that a blind man can say. And she's my all in all. She's my everything. She's my seasons and my reasons. She's my summer, she's my winter, she's my spring. I'm in love with my best friend. I'm a lover, ooh, I'm a lover, tell the whole world. And smile, please. I'm in love with my best friend. I'm a lover, tell the whole world. And it's the reason that I'm still alive. She's the reason that I'm still alive. She took all the drugs and all the pain and bad stuff out of my life. And that's the reason why I can live with my hands clean, morally right. I'm in love with my best friend. I'm a lover, ooh, I'm a lover, tell the whole world. And I said, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm a lover till the whole world ends. And she's my ooh, ooh, ooh. She's my baby girl. She's my boo. And she's my ooh, ooh, ooh. She's my oh mine, and she's my oh 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 oh. She's my oh 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 yeah. She's the woman of my dreams. I don't wanna be no king. She's my queen. I'm in love with my best friend. I'm a lover, ooh, I'm a lover till the whole world ends. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love. Yeah, yeah. I'm a lover till.
Hey, you're watching On the Town. That was Hollywood. He's awesome. I'm in love with my best friend. Great song. And I have one more song for you. Of course, you know I got to plug Tatiana. Here we go.
Baby, I'm drunk on it. No, the cup won't love you like I do. Baby, I know that we can't live in the past, but the past is all I see. And why you gotta make me wait? Why you give my love away every day? And she could probably take my place. She could probably take my. Yeah, I was willing to ride, but yeah, even praying to God, but even I'm God alone. 'Cause I'm choosing you instead. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up? Thank you very much for watching this week. You guys are awesome. Let me see who's out here so I can say hello. Sorry about that. I found out what it is. If I don't put it on public, that's why I couldn't see you guys. So now I discovered my newest problem and I fixed it myself. Hey, cousin Pat, how are you? Hey, thank you for watching. Yvonne, you're awesome. You're awesome. Yes, you, Kareem, we are praying for you. Emma, yes, that guy, Hollywood Anderson, is got a mean voice. Woo! There are so many talented singers out there. And I don't know if you guys know this, but when I started my On the Town show originally 25 years ago, yes, I know, I don't tell my age, okay? I'll say I'm 30 till I die. When I started, I would feature singers that you never heard of and play their music videos. That was what I originally did before it was a thing. And then I moved up here and changed a little bit. Then I went into cable and that changed a little bit and just never seems to get together. But I'm committed to going back to featuring artists never heard of and keeping it that way because, I think everybody should have a voice. And that's why I started doing this, is because everybody should have a voice and nobody should have to be a favorite of a record label to get put on if they are good and talented. There's so many talented people. I mean, like so many. I can't even tell you. It's like I was digging through things. I was like, I can go on forever. This could be like a new thing, like new artists never. It's been that long. 25 years I've been doing these broadcasts, but I was doing them on cable before. So in Brooklyn, a lot of people knew my show On the Town. It was on Manhattan Cable Network. I was on BCAT. What's it? BCAT and what's the other one? There's another one, MNN. Manhattan Neighborhood Network. So, I love when I did that show because I was taping. It was called On the Town because I literally was on a spot on 42nd Street. It was my favorite spot to tape every week. It was great. That's when I had a crew, and I don't have a crew no more. So it's a little different, but that's okay. It's okay. God's going to work it out for me. He always does. Always in my favor. So I'm slow as a turtle, but I will get there. And that's it. And you guys are awesome for watching. Just remember tonight's lessons, basically Ukraine, and war makes no sense to me at all. Never has. I understand, I big respect to all my military people. I love you guys. Yes, I know it's big to stand up for our country. I know somebody's got to do what they say, but I'm still not convinced that we ever had to go to a war ever, that we only went to war because of someone ego, period. That's just my thought. I don't think it was ever a necessity. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? Maybe I don't know anything. But I don't ever co-sign on war because it's just horrible. Like horrible that you can go into a place and just bomb babies and like bomb people. But then I'm not shocked because if we were able to go and have slaves and hang them from trees and rape people and make people have do horrible things, I'm not shocked. I'm actually not really shocked because when I look at take them out. When I look at the history of America and the world, not just America, but the Romans, they were there were some shady people. If y'all know what the Romans did, go read about the Romans and tell me that you were surprised. If you believe in Jesus, you were surprised that he was hung up on a cross. Go tell me if you were surprised. Go tell me if you're surprised by anything, because everything is mild in comparison to what they did. Let's just put it that way. It's horrible. It is what it is, but I don't think we should co-sign on war at all. We should find another way. And if what Putin is saying, I don't know what to believe about anybody, but I think that any man that thinks that he can just go and just bomb places should be taken out. That I do believe. Because why? And it's not about who's right or wrong. It's just a human being should not be able to just go destroy a whole city and people just based on their thought and their opinion. And I don't think that, Yeah, I just think it's wrong. And I don't know who's the bully here, who's the dominant. I don't know. I honestly, I've been trying to figure it out. I really can't figure it out because you have Romans were brutal. Yes, they were, right? The Romans were very brutal. I really don't know because you have Russians saying, yeah, this happened and this happened with Ukraine and blah, blah, blah. So they're saying this on their side. And then Ukrainians saying, no, blah, 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 blah. Who's telling the truth? I don't know. But I do know that as a mother, yes, their power. I know as a mother, as a human being, that no one, no human being should have to sit and watch their city or space be bombed. Period. It was not the way that the universe intended, God intended, however you want to say it. It was not the way he intended it. He did not intend for man to get hold of these weapons. I got a bigger missile than you. Oh, I got a bigger missile. We're going to see who's going to press the button. I'm pressing the button. What? What are they? And then, I mean, God forbid he got hold of Chernobyl. Oh, hello, God forbid. This man I just keep having dreams of him pressing the button. One day, I just have that dream. And it's funny because a lot of psychics can't see past a certain time. I forgot what the year was, but Sylvia Brown used to talk about it. There's a certain time no psychic can really see beyond. And I wonder if it's because Psycho is going to press the button. And the fact that Elon Musk is buying up space in the meta universe. Yo, someone asked me, you want to buy a house in the meta universe? No, I do not want to buy a house in the meta universe. Why? Because I'm staying on this universe. I'm staying on this planet. I'm not going to the other planet, wherever that is. And while I don't think that we're the only beings here, I do believe that part. I'm not going nobody's universe and all that stuff. Because next place I'm going is heaven. If that's the thing, then that's where I'm going. I'm not going no damn hang out on the moon and the Mars and all. I'm not doing all that. That's not what, because I'm just guessing that whoever created us would have made me be born on the moon or Mars had they wanted me to be there. That's my theory on it. What'd you say, Yvonne? Putin is saying that the reason he's doing what he's done is because of Ukraine. He's such a liar. You don't know what to believe. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Just like, I mean, even Hitler had a story, didn't he? He had a story and it's like, whoa, so if you don't know what's going on, you'd be like, yeah, oh, that person's right. You don't really know. I don't really know. I'm only going by what I think if God was here, what he would say. And he would say, you're not supposed to bomb your neighbors. You're just not supposed, that's just not something you do. You're not supposed to go and make people homeless. That's not what you're supposed to do. No, not supposed to do it. So I don't know. And my last topic for the night, and then I'm going to really go, is all the horrendous murders happening in New York City. What is going on? Are we going back to the 80s in New York City? Have y'all seen all the, this poor woman? Oh my God, my heart is broken. The young Asian lady who was followed by that guy and beaten, stabbed. It's like, what is going on? We have to love each other, guys. And here's the thing that people are forgetting. And this is very important. It's horrible. Crime is going to go up and keep going up. So be prepared, especially for all the gentrified down there in the city. Good luck with that, because that's kind of it's going to be the worst place to be, like it was in the 80s. And I'll tell you why. New York City at some point decided that people in shelters weren't worth much. People that were paying rent weren't worth much. So they kicked them out on the street, and now they're all homeless. And they had mental psychosis. And a lot of those people are loose. A lot of them are loose right now. That's what's happening on the streets of New York. A lot of people are mentally gone. And especially after this pandemic, it has heightened it to the 50th degree, if there's such a thing. It's a whole nother level. I mean, you're not getting medication. You don't have a place to live. Then you might be dabbling with something, if you're drinking or smoking weed or something on the side, that's going to kick your psychosis into another level. People are out of their minds. And how do we know this? You have the young man the other day in Wisconsin, and forgive me for saying this, but he literally, let's say bang bang, I won't say the word, he bang banged his baby's mother on Facebook Live, y'all, while the 5-year-old was there in the house. Yo, I don't know if y'all know, but people have lost their minds. So when, I tell people, when you're on the streets, whether you're in a profession, you work in a rehab, you work in a drug facility, hospital, doctors, lawyers, be kind, because you don't know who you're dealing with. And there's some people who are this guy was like, he told the cops, hey, do what you got to do, because you're definitely going to take me out. That's what he told them. You're going to take me out, but first come get my son. So thank God he didn't want the son. But to me, it was a contradiction, because it's like, you're not going to hurt your son. Thank you, Jesus. But you let your son be mentally damaged for the rest of his life by watching his mother get taken down. That's horrible. I don't know which is worse, honestly. I really don't. I'm not sure which is worse, because I know someone who witnessed their father doing the whatever to their mom when he was 5. And it devastated him. So it's just not, we have to start thinking, people, when you're walking in the streets in New York, wherever, Wisconsin, wherever you're walking, wherever you're doing, you have to start being mindful of other people and their psychosis. That's a real thing right now. I'm talking about white, black, yes, he killed her. He sure did. And there's a video of it. That's the worst part. I mean, you don't see the actual thing, but he did kill her. And the cops came and everybody came. He said, because he called them. He was like, hey, I just did and he had said, I'm going through a lot of mental stuff and everybody's playing these games with me. And apparently, I don't know what happened, but the baby mama was like, you can't see him. You can see him. You can see him. And then she dropped him off to see him. I'm just saying, ladies, when people show you who they are, please start believing them. Please start believing them, especially abusive men or men that are controlling. You already see the signs. They're there. In my opinion, they are there. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I've never seen a case yet where it was like, wow, he just popped out of nowhere and just started being abusive. There's always signs, like, who's on your phone? What? Well, why your mom got to come here? Why you got to go to your mom's house? I'm coming with you. You can't go there. I don't want you to go to work. I want you to stay home forever and be right here with me so I can take care of you. Huh? I mean, there's always little signs, but we're so Google-eyed and in love that we don't pay attention to those signs. And I understand why people stay, because they have to, sometimes you have to be safe. And if you feel that the only way to stay safe is staying, then I understand that. But I say, even before that, the first day that you're on a date with somebody, they show signs. In my opinion, a narcissist always shows signs. There's no way they can hide it. They could try to be as sweet as pie and bring you flowers and be like, oh, you're so pretty, look at you. But they're going to always drop just a little nugget. And you got to pay attention, especially like my young ladies out here in these streets. Please pay attention, because people have lost their minds. Literally have lost. This young man lost his mind. He was like 20-something years old. Okay. And he's gone. Well, actually, the police ended up killing him, because he was crazy. That's what he wanted anyway. But I'm just saying, he lost his mind. You got to be mindful, is what I'm trying to say. Be mindful of everything and everyone right now, because you have between Ukraine, between high inflation prices and people like, how am I going to pay my rent? Then you got people still unemployed from unemployment. They ain't getting no money, ain't no stimulus check. You got those people who are like, am I going to really go back to work in this pandemic? Oh, how am I going to work in this? Because there's still a pandemic. You forgot about that. But they trying to act like, oh, it's no problem now because we got our vaccine, so we don't care if you die. I mean, you got so many things going on that how can anybody not have a psychosis going on in their brain, right? Literally, how can anybody? I mean, you are super strong if you went through this pandemic and you made it unscathed with not one anxiety building up, not one, depression coming in, nothing coming in. You are amazing. You are. Oh, I thought I heard gunshots. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong area for this. What's going on? Sorry, guys. I just got scared for a minute. The pandemic is still going on. It's still a pandemic, but y'all acting like, oh, well, everything's open up now. It's open up, but I'm still wearing my mask when I go into the small spots. I don't care what y'all say. And if you want me to host anything, I'd be more than happy to host. I'm always for hire to host. Try to make it outside, especially for the summer coming up. I'm the ultimate host. I am, but try to make it outside for me, because I ain't trying to be up in nobody's face unless it's a good space. If it's a nice space, I'm down. I'm down for it. But I'm still masking up, guys. You got to mask up. That's it. Don't be taking don't be taken for granted, being like, oh, well, the pandemic's gone. I had my booster and I had my this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's a new strain that's deadly, allegedly. I mean, I know we like to sell you things, and the best way to sell anything to American public is scare the crap out of them. That's the way to get them. I'll tell you something, and I'll make. Oh, if you don't use you don't use this toothpaste, your breath's gonna stink. Nobody wants stinky breath, right? So you're gonna buy the toothbrush, buy the toothpaste. So I mean, I don't know what's real. Again, we don't know what's real and what's not real, but we do know we have to protect ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's the truth. So whether it's relationships, whether it's you carrying all this stuff in our heads, are like, right? So much stuff going on. Sit, breathe, look around. You're okay. You're alive. We're going to be okay. Just remember, there still is a pandemic. We're still going to pray for Ukraine that things work out. God will come in there and swoop Putin off his feet. That's what I'm praying for. You know what? I do not underestimate God at all, at all. He always comes through when we need him. So Putin can do whatever he thinks his little self wants to do. And the UN can sit like little wimps and do nothing, which is horrible. I mean, it's like, who sits by and watches an atrocity in 2022? Who does that? Who does that? Anybody? Raise your hand if you sit by and what? It's like me sitting down next to you, and a guy comes over and says to you, not to me, hey, I want all your stuff on you. I want your shoes, your socks. I want everything you have on you right now. Give it to me. And let's say all he has is a piece of paper. He doesn't even have a knife or a weapon, right? That's kind of what Putin's doing when he made the announcement. That's kind of what that was like. It was like, am I going to sit here and let this guy take the stuff, or am I going to help? I probably would have been like, let me intervene. And I have done that before. I was on a subway with someone who it was Puerto Rican Day Parade. I'll never forget it. And they were going to beat up my white girlfriend who was a punk rocker just because she was white. They just was like, I don't like the way you look. And they just started talking stuff. And I was like, you're going to have to come through me first. And Hero was talking all that crap. And then the mother got it in, the brother got it. And I said, well, whichever one of y'all want to get it first, that's what we're going to do, because I'm not going to sit here and let you beat her up. That's not happening. Why? Because you can't sit by and watch an atrocity, people. You can't. You cannot sit by. And UN, shame on you, because that's what you're doing right now. And it's kind of too late. You should have went when he sat on the news and made that announcement. You should have had all of our Navy SEALs in looking for him. Period. They should have been like, let's go get this guy. Let's just go get him. And if you can't get him live, get him the way you got Bin Laden. Because how do we know it? I mean, if you're what you say you are, and you're like the gatekeeper of peace and love, like, I'm sorry, how did this guy get to where he's at now? Literally destroying buildings and having kids in a subway. Wow, I'm disappointed, quite frankly, in the United Nations, in America. I'm disappointed in your military guy and your president, everybody. I'm disappointed in all of it, because it should never have gotten this far. It just shouldn't have. And I don't think it just doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. And I don't know what to do about it, honestly. So, it's nothing we can do but pray. That's all I can do, because I don't know what to do. I just know if I had the power that they had, we would have went in and took him out without even asking the question. I don't care what he thinks, because if he's who he say is, he's going to come for us anyway for all the sanctions and everything. So now we could have taken him out and we given him more opportunity to do more stuff. And my paranoid self is thinking, well, Elon Musk sold all his property and all his houses, and Bill Gates has a titanium steel boat that will sustain any kind of damage. So if they're getting ready for other stuff, maybe they know that there's an end near, because that's how paranoid I am thinking, right? I'm thinking like, well, why are they thinking that this could all end? Could it all end? Hey, nothing shocks me. And all I'm going to tell you is be kind to everybody you see when you're on that little subway down in New York City in the subway. Y'all better start being kind to people. Don't be staring at people, because people I had a guy once when I was taking the subway. I know I'm going all over the place, but the point is about people. That's what it's coming down to. It's always going to come down to people, Putin, and probably when he's a little boy, probably didn't have much power and probably was bullied. And now he wants to be the bully. There's some psychosis going on with him too. I mean, really, come on. Something serious. And then what about Trump saying that like co-signing with this dumb guy. What about that? What's up, all my Trumpsters? Y'all talking about I love Trump. I want Trump to win. You want Trump to win? You hear what he's saying about this whole Ukraine thing? Would have never happened on my watch. Not because he's a nice guy and would have did something about it, because he thinks he would have had such a good relationship with Putin that it actually wouldn't happen because he would have been his friend and not did it. What? Anyway, I don't know what's going on with that, but y'all better check yourself before y'all vote for that crazy ass person. Excuse my French, but y'all better check yourselves, because I don't want him in. I want anybody in but him or Biden. I don't want Biden either. So we need to find a new candidate wherever you are. I'm here for you. Let me know who you are. That's all I can say. Trump needs to go too. Yes, because we don't want to just stop. He's like Putin. Exactly. We're not having that either. No, thank you. I don't want none of that. But anyway, I was just saying, a guy on the subway, as far as the things happen in the subway, I've had all similarly the above happen to me. A guy was going to literally told me he was going to gut me like a fish. And if it wasn't for this guy who saw what was happening, 2:00 in the morning, I was coming back from work or somewhere. I don't know where I was coming back from. It's a long time ago, 30, 40, I don't know how many years ago. The guy saw the guy, it was like a homeless guy, and he had this big coat on. He was pulled out, looked like a knife a little bit. He was about to pull it out. He says, he was just walking, and then he stops like this, like Linda Blair in Exorcist. And his face turns around, and he looks at me like he knows me. He's like, I'm gonna gut you like a fish. And I was like, oh my God, you know how you look at somebody's eyes and you know they're crazy? Like, this is serial killer eyes. This is the guy. He was that kind of guy. And he started coming toward me, the subway. I was like waiting for it to close the door, but I was like, come on, close. And I was sitting there trying to be cool because I didn't want to show any sign. And just as he was about to step on, the guy saw what was happening because he was walking by and he heard him. He was like, I'm going to get you. He started cursing at me, calling me all kinds of names you don't want to know. And the guy was like, honey. And the guy comes up and he goes, just pretend like you're my wife. Come here. I told you not to sit down here by yourself. What's wrong with you? And he just give me a hug, man. So I give him a hug and I'm pretending like he's my, oh, honey, thank you. I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. And the guy looks like, who's this guy? Like, what's going on here? And just then the door closed, and I don't know what would happen after that, but I would have been literally chop suey had it not been for this strange guy, because everybody else moved out of the car. They were like, I don't want no part of that. They were going to leave me to be dead. I mean, pretty much kind of what happened when I got attacked 30-something years ago, too. That people are like, bye, got to go. You know, nobody cares. Even if you're innocent, if you're just standing there, they don't care. So I learned a lesson. But he had psychosis. Something he really thought for that. He was just walking regularly. And then the other brain switched and he was like, oh, there you are. He said, there you are. I've been looking for you, itch. Blah, 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 blah. And he went into this whole like rage. And then he pulled out what looked like a knife and he was about to pull it out. And the guy saw him, was like, and he went, and he got on. She said, honey, I told you. And thank God he took him out of snapped him out of whatever he was in. That's what you're dealing with in the subway right now. So I'm telling all people, be kind. Be kind to people you're standing next to. Pay attention on the subway. Stop standing on the edge of the damn subway. Another thing. I see a lot of y'all still saying, oh, is the train coming? I'm like, no, you don't want to be that close to the edge. So pay attention. Pay attention, because a lot of people are hurting right now. A lot of people are mentally jacked. Remember all the homeless people that they're homeless because they got kicked out of the shelters, probably for psychosis and something they did, what could be for anything. Some of them taking drugs along with the psychosis, which is the worst, especially if someone's on dust or they're on, what's the other one? Bath salts. People on bath salts are like, no, you want to stay far and wide away. They could literally be thinking that you're a fish and they're a bear. Yeah, that kind of thing, Yeah, so stay far away. And just try to, be kind to people. If you got any racism going on, keep it to yourself, because we don't want none of that. Because when you pass a crazy person that's dealt with a lot of racism, they bring it out extra on you. You know what I'm saying? They'll take it out extra. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. So try to be kind is the bottom line today. I've been on way too long. Just be kind to people is what I'm going to say to you. Everybody pray for Ukraine. I'm going to say a special prayer for them tonight at 10 p.m. I want you to say a special prayer for them at 10 p.m. That God will come down, swoop down. I'm praying he will swoop down like an eagle and just boom up that, whatever his name is, Putano. That's what we're going to call him, Putano. Just swoop him up and get him out of here, because he's just a mess. And not just him, a lot of them people are a mess. I hope we sweep through the whole cabinet and get everybody out of there. I'm tired of everybody, quite frankly. We need some new blood. Y'all get some new blood up in here. All right. So I'm done. I love you guys so much. I thank you so much for rocking me and taking the time always to come and just rock with me. I didn't have my guests this week, but I will be having some new guests next month. And in the meantime, I'm working on a documentary about foster youth and another one about drug addiction. So in the meantime, if you know anybody who's an addict or who is in recovery, or who is a foster kid, or who is a foster parent or works with foster children, please inbox me so that I can interview for my documentary. I really appreciate it. Yes, I would appreciate you so much, because we're going to try to help children as much as we can with whatever we can. And all the proceeds will be going to aged out foster youth. So I appreciate you. Inbox me. In the meantime, most importantly, go to my page, my YouTube page, please. Foster Kids Unite Inc. and this one on the Town with Tanya, and like and subscribe, please. And more importantly, can you share the video for me, please? Thank you very much. I love you guys, man. Who's that? Somebody said something. Thank you, Tanya. Hey, May, how are you? Hey, Lina, what's up? Hey, hi, two of y'all. I see y'all, Emma girl. All right, and Yvonne and Grandma Norma. I don't know where you at out here in these streets, Grandma. I see y'all. Jennifer. Hey, Anthony, what's up? Yes, y'all out here. See, I couldn't see you before because I didn't have it on what did I do? I didn't have it on public. So now I know why all this time I couldn't see my Gina and all my people. Gina, I'm glad you made it back from Mexico. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And Lizzie out here in these streets. I know. But thank you guys. You guys are the best. I really appreciate you. There's nothing like having support, doing what you love. And I'm determined at my age to do what I love to do and what God has called me to do. And I'm going to do both. And I don't care what anybody says or think about me. Most importantly, you just need to know I have a good heart and I try my best to be as kind as I can when I can. Now, don't play me, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I hate that saying. But I love you guys. And what do you call it? I guess until next week, we're going to be seeing you later, baby. Bye.